Instagram teen accounts have automatic protections for what teens see and who can contact them, plus time management tools. And Instagram will continue adding built-in safety features to help create age-appropriate experiences. Learn more about teen accounts and Instagram's ongoing work to protect teens online at instagram.com/teenaccounts.
Live from Nashville, Tennessee, it's ParaReality Radio. I'll be your host, Sandman. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you can hear me all right. This is my first live broadcast, and I'm still trying to figure out how to do all of this stuff and make sure everything is done like it's supposed to be. So if you'll forgive me if I seem kind of lost because, hate to say it, but actually I kind of am. Well, for those of you who seem to be tuning in tonight, I'm glad that you're out there tuning into this thing. It's, I'll tell you what. Had a little glitch there. Sorry about that one. Like I said, I'm still trying to get all this crap worked out here. This is, man, I tell you, this is something new to me. So just kind of bear with me out there. I'm very, very sorry for all the confusion there. Anyway, let me tell you a little bit about myself. What's going on here? I'm Sandman. I'll be your host for ParaReality Radio tonight. For those of you who are tuning in out there and listening, glad you could tune into the show. And just in case you caught my last pre-show, my little pre-recorded broadcast, my test broadcast, I really want to tell you out there that I am so sorry for the lack of quality that was in that show. Boy, I listened to it and it sucked. Man, it really sucked. I just hate like hell that I put that on the air. It really, I was feeling pretty under the weather that day when I recorded that show, and I really shouldn't have put that out there, and I'm sorry that I did, man. It just really, it bit, and I hope I didn't lose any listeners. But checking my stats and everything, I'm still moving up in the ranks. I'm in my genre, which is talk, my primary genre. I'm ranked number 113 now, which, my goal, my first goal is to just be in the top 100 and get some listeners and everything out there. And right now I don't have very many listeners, and I understand that. So, I'm just trying to build up a good show, and hopefully everything is gonna work out okay with this. Definitely gonna try it. So, with that being said, let me tell you a little bit about what the show is going to be about tonight. The show is going to be about the Chupacabras, which originated in Puerto Rico and seems to be coming out just all over the place. It's going to be quite a phenomenon there going on, and we're going to talk a little bit about it tonight. If you'll excuse me for just 1 second here, I'm trying to get my chat room started in here. For those of you who are tuning in out there listening, I have a chat room set up. It's on Yahoo, the Yahoo network. It's if you'll go to the join chat area, I am in the chat room called, strangely enough, ParaReality Radio, and I'll be in the views and beliefs section, religion and beliefs area on the user rooms on the Yahoo chat. And I'm going to try also and see if this is going to work or not. I'm really not too sure that it will, but I am going to try to get my Microsoft Net meeting on, and hopefully I'll be able to take some live show calls in the show. I'm going to try this and see if it's going to work. For those of you out there who would like to have my IP address, if you have Microsoft Windows Net Meeting, my IP address is 192.168.0.2. So try and call into the show if you're out there and you want to call in, and we'll see if this will work. Everybody else can hear you on the air, and maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. I don't know, but I am trying my best to see if this is going to work or not. So there we are. I got everything up and running now. I know it was a little confusion to start off with, and I apologize for that. So with that being said, here we go. We're going to start off on the show tonight talking about La Chupacabras. Now, for those of you who are unfamiliar with what the Chupacabras means goat sucker. This creature was reported to have been seen throughout the Caribbean and in several countries of South America and even in Florida and Texas. It's been reported that this creature can kill animals, of course, by sucking out all the blood out of them, kind of like a vampire type thing. There have been found many dead goats. That's where it gets his name. That's his main staple of food, it seems, are goats. They've been found lots and lots of dead goats and farm animals throughout all those places that I just mentioned. All the animals were found, of course, with puncture wounds around their neck, once again referring to the vampire type thing. And some have even been reported that the creature is, of course, an alien in origin, and even that UFOs have brought them down to planet Earth. Some people say that it's a creature that has been created by the government, some sort of secret government experiment gone awry, and the creature has escaped out into the wild. And I don't necessarily know whether that's true or not, but that's one of the things that we're going to be discussing here tonight. Is this true or not? So let's get on with the show. Since December of 1994, there's been more than 2,000 reported cases of animal mutilations in Puerto Rico alone. Now, this is where the Chupacabras first made their appearance, so this is where they appear to be most prominent, is in Puerto Rico. The island's already infamous for its number of UFO sightings witnessed over the years, which includes mysterious disappearances of American military aircraft.
TaxAct's filing software and live tax experts can help small businesses easily knock out their taxes. Actually, our experts can help you find deductions and credits for any sized business. Itty-bitty businesses, medium-sized, really big, mid-sized, small businesses, companies with 0 employees, and mom-and-pop conglomerates. Yep, our tax experts can help all of them. TaxAct. Let's get them over with.
There's been a consistent wave of UFO sightings, as well as numerous apparitions of this weird creature, which has killed lots of livestock, and it's been dubbed by the name Chupacabras, which means the goat sucker, as I already mentioned. And the people who named it this was, of course, the media. So, they've always got to give something a name, so they named this La Chupacabras. The creature is apparently responsible for the deaths of cattle, sheep, goats, rabbits, hens, ducks, cats, dogs, all nature and means of animals. After the victim dies, the creature appears to extract blood and other fluids from the animal's body via the puncture wounds in the neck. thousands of animals have been killed, and communities are living virtually in fear. Throughout the killings, the authorities have claimed that the deaths are due to attacks from groups of stray dogs, baboons even, yeah right, or exotic animals that have legally been introduced into Puerto Rico. The director of Puerto Rico's Department of Agriculture Veterinary Services Division, a man by the name of Hector Garcia, has stated that, and this is a quote, "It could be dogs, that the small puncture wounds observed in the victims' necks are similar to those inflicted by the fangs of canines," end quote. He's also stated that no other unusual features have been observed in the dead animals examined by his division, and this included no loss of blood. However, veterinarian Angel Luis Santana of the private Gardenville Clinic in San Juan in Puerto Rico said, quote, "It could be a human being who belongs to a religious sect, even another animal. It could also be someone who wants to make fun out of the Puerto Rican people," end quote. All of the official explanations to this enigma have actually failed to identify the manner in which the animals died, and the observations made of unknown creatures by serious, reliable witnesses all over Puerto Rico. The facts tell, however, a very different story. The animals have been found with many small, perfectly circular holes, approximately a quarter an inch to half an inch in diameter, arranged in pairs of triangular fashion. These puncture wounds, or these holes, seem to penetrate deep into the neck and the lower jaws of victims. A doctor by the name of Carlos Soto, a qualified veterinarian, states that the wounds have a regular pattern in many of the cases into the head of the animal, a hole penetrating through the right jawbone, muscle, and tissue and straight into the brain, or more specifically, directly into the cerebellum. It punctures it, and it causes, well, instant death to the victim, or to the victim animal. This regular type of wound and the path followed by whatever intrudes into the body indicates, well, premeditation. And it also indicates intelligence. The attack also reveals a type of euthanasia technique. But this method prevents the animal from suffering, apparently. This, too, to me, reveals a form of intelligence. Official research fails to explain if a dog or any other known animal predator bites to kill a victim. First, it has to exert pressure on both sides of the head, neck, or the body. In the Chupacabra's case, no trauma, abrasions, scratches, bites, or pressure have been observed by the examiners on the opposite side of the wound, and as such it becomes obvious that we are not dealing with any kind of an ordinary predator or carnivore species that's currently known to science. The wounds may be similar in appearance to bites inflicted by dogs or the aforementioned baboons due to the fact that they're being round and small, but that's where the similarity is going to end. Government officials and veterinarians who have followed the official line of policy statements have often refused to reveal data about the wounds. They conveniently tend to ignore the fact that whatever penetrates the animal is at least 3 or 4 inches long, and in a few cases has been known to cauterize the wall of the wound, apparently to prevent excessive blood loss. That's kind of strange, isn't it? It goes back to the vampire-type theory. No known animal species on Earth can do what I just said, cauterize a bite wound itself. Some of the wounds of this type appear on the sides and on the stomach of the victim. This penetration usually cuts through the stomach down into the liver and apparently removes sections of the liver and absorbs blood and other liquids from it. These actions seem to require an incision of some type of up to 5 inches. That's a fact that's been verified during autopsies performed on these animals who have been bitten in such a nature. The triangular wounds have been noted to enter the body and hit the liver. Kind of strange, isn't it? While there's something obviously that is penetrating, while there's obviously something that's penetrating the animal and creating extensive trauma and injury and leaving strange material inside of the animal's body, no natural inflammatory processes have been observed in the dead animal's tissues. Now, this to me seems extremely, extremely unnatural. And that's the only way I know how to describe that. It's just plain old unnatural. In most cases, the victims completely lack rigor mortis. And for those of you who don't know what rigor mortis is, it's when the body begins to, the joints and the tendons and the ligaments and the muscles begin to harden and stiffen up after death. And this usually takes about 4 or 5 hours before it starts setting in. But most cases, the victims don't have this rigor mortis, and they remain, well, flexible even days after their death. So incredibly, in some incidents, the blood which remained in the body would not clot or coagulate for days following the death of the victim. And I say victim, and of course I'm talking about an animal here. As far as I know, there's been no actual human death victims here. Several larger holes or cuts have been discovered on some of the animals, and these consist of wounds which range from 1 inch in diameter to 12 inches in length. These particular openings have been located in the neck, chest, belly, anal area, gross, and appear to have been made like with a surgeon's type of scalpel. They're clean-cut openings through which certain organs are excised from the bodies. Most of these are reproductive sexual organs. The anus, for some reason, this creature has an anal fixation. Eyes and other soft tissues have all been removed. Other official explanations identifies the possibility that someone involved with a religious or a satanic sect could be responsible for this. The sheer number of cases appears to just totally negate this theory. The killings they occur pretty much every day and at all hours. There's no particular day or time of day that they occur, and also it occurs all over the island. So there's no single sect which has anything like the resources that's needed to conduct such a massive amount of sacrificial slayings here. Only, as far as I'm concerned, the government could conduct such an operation, but what possible means would the government have to do this? I mean, why would they bother to do something like that? I really don't understand why they would even bother to try and make fools of their own people, if that's what they're doing, making fools of their own people. Why would they, even want to go in that direction and try and do something of that nature? Little pause in the action there. Now, let's talk about what the creature looks like when it's observed. Many of the killings are associated with strange creatures that have been termed anomalous biological entities, or ABE for short. It's reportedly a cross between a creature known as a gray alien humanoid, mainly because of the shape of the head and the eyes, and what most of the witnesses describe as the body of some sort of bipedal erect dinosaur. Its head is oval in shape, and it has an elongated jaw. It also has 2 elongated red eyes, and it's also been reported that together with small holes in the nostril area, a small slit-like mouth with fang type of teeth protruding upwards and downwards from the jaw. So you got fangs coming down and you got fangs going up. Other witnesses have seen small pointed ears, but this hasn't been seen by all witnesses. It does appear to have a strong, coarse type of hair all over its body, and while most observers claim the hair is black, it seems to have this ability to change its colors at will, kind of like a chameleon. In the dark, it'll change to black or a deep brown color. In a sunlit area surrounded by vegetation, it can change to green or a green-gray, light brown, or even beige in color. The creature apparently has 2 small arms with 3-fingered clawed hands on the end of it, and it has 2 strong hind legs, again with the 3 claws. This appears to enable it to run quickly and leap over high, tall objects. Some witnesses have alleged that they have seen the creature leap over 20 feet in a single bound. According to a lot of witnesses, the creature's legs looked almost reptilian-like, or once again goat-like. It has quill-like appendages running down its back with what seem to be fleshy membranes that change color from like a blue to a green or red to a purple, or something sort of like that. A number of witnesses claim that the creature flaps like it's trying to fly as it runs off. They've even claimed that it does fly, but if it can leap 20 feet, I can understand why you would think that it could fly. First reported in the town of, and please forgive me for totally massacring this name, but I'm going to try it. It was originally reported in the town of Orocovis. The ABEs have been sighted in the municipality of Canovanas and many areas of Puerto Rico. Its habits are both day and nighttime. As a matter of fact, it has been seen in broad daylight by several witnesses. On one such occasion was witnessed by a person by the name of Madeline Tolentino and her neighbors in the Campo Rico community, which is a municipality of Canovanas. All of them observed it walking down the street at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. They walked towards it. When the creature saw them, it ran away at a, quote, fantastic speed, unquote, and escaped out to who knows where. The killings that have been going on are, of course, naturally, a great loss to the farmers, and the situation has prompted a president of the Puerto Rican House of Representatives Agricultural Commission, Mr. Juan E. Lopez, to introduce special resolutions asking for an official investigation to clarify the situation, to find out what the heck is going on. Now, there's also been some UFO sightings along with this stuff, and they have seen, people have seen luminous oval and pyramidal-shaped UFOs in the vicinity where the animals have been mutilated, and of course all the animals were found to be without blood. These sightings have been reported in the towns of Cabo Rojo, Canovanas, Ponce, Naranjito, and they're all distances apart. In Barrio Hato, the Rojas family observed a UFO, and then later on, a horse, several goats were found mutilated. So what does that tell you? Is it a UFO? Could be a coincidence. On November the 18th of 1995, there was a luminous disc that was reported to be some 40 feet in diameter with a row of dark light windows around its center rim, which positioned itself over the antenna of a radio station located in the town of, and here I'm going to slaughter this name again, Barranquitas, in the center of Puerto Rico. Now, simultaneously, the station's electronic equipment went crazy, dials went wild, and an obsolete piece of equipment from 1957 that was stored at the station turned itself on all by itself. Imagine that. More astonishingly was the fact that the apparatus from 1957 wasn't plugged into any power source. Now, this incident here was discussed in the media as many residents in that area saw the UFO as it hovered over the station. But sadly, the TV, radio, and news media suppressed the information on several encounters. A Channel 4 and Channel 11 in Puerto Rico, and I don't have those channel names, I just know they're Channel 4 and Channel 11, they covered the incident, but they absolutely failed to mention the presence of creatures during the sighting. So this is implying cover-ups by the media, is it not? It could be. There was a female witness who also observed the creature in the Canovanas municipality in the early days of November, but the ABE, or the Chupacabras, jumped and entered a round luminous object over her car. This is what she reported. So, the report suggests that there's a link between the ABEs and the UFOs, or alien phenomena. But we can't discard the possibility that the ABEs can also be the product of highly sophisticated genetic manipulations by human or government agencies. A Chinese-Russian scientist by the name of Dr. Tissian Kanechin, and I know I massacred that name, forgive me, sir, he has produced genetic manipulations of which has created new species of electronically crossed plant and animal organisms. Kanechin developed an electronic system whereby he can pick up the bioenergetic field of the DNA of living organisms and transfer it electronically to other living organisms. By these means, he's created really, really weird new breeds of, like, ducks, chickens, with physical characteristics of both species, goats and rabbits, and new breeds of plants such as, like, corn and wheat, peanut sunflower seeds, and cucumber watermelons. These are produced by linking the genetic data of different living organisms contained in their biogenetic fields by means of ultra-high frequencies biological linking. If the Russians have created this technology, then without a doubt the U.S. and other powers have too. Therefore, it's quite possible that the Chupacabras or the other ABEs could have been developed by humans. Now, Puerto Rico has been the site, of course, for much experimentation by the United States for some reason. They've conducted these experiments on the island's population and territory for decades. Examples of this can be found in the experimentation of thalidomida and the anti-conceptive drug on Puerto Rican women. This caused the birth of many, just deformed children in the 1950s, and the lethal Agent Orange and other dioxin-based chemical agents were tested in several places on the island, as well as gamma radiation tests in the forest there. Because of this, you just can't exclude the possibility that someone may well be experimenting with new and advanced genetic products in the country. The ABEs could be the result of this. The Chupacabras could be this result. And maybe it's gone awry. Who knows? Maybe the creatures have escaped and that someone that created them has lost control of the situation. Is that a possibility? Maybe so. What do you think? If you're out there listening, come into the chat room, ParaReality Radio, on Yahoo Chat, in the Religions and Beliefs user section, or give me a call, Microsoft Net Meeting. My IP number is 192.168.0.2. If you're out there listening, let me know what you think. Give me a call. There have been some obtained blood samples, allegedly from one of the creatures, which was discovered after it jumped over a fence and tripped, which is kind of strange because these creatures are supposed to be very graceful. But who knows? Maybe they can trip. Anyway, this occurred on the 3rd of October, 1995, at 9 o'clock in the evening in Campo Rico and Canovanas. 2 days before, a policeman supposedly shot one of the creatures in Campo Rico, which, of course, the creature fled the site, and the blood could have well been from that Chupacabra instead of the one that tripped, but we don't really know. But we have two incidences of where someone could have had the opportunity to obtain Chupacabra blood. The blood sample was taken to a medical specialist for DNA analysis. Now, there was 2 samples done. Sample 1, which is the original blood sample, seemed to indicate similar characteristics to that of a human A-type blood. Further analysis wasn't conclusive on this, but in sample 2, on the other analysis of the blood and matter associated with it in this sample, showed that the material content was comparable to feces with Deuterius, E. coli bacteria, and other parasites. Vegetal cellular material was also found in it. The content was comparable with that found in cases involving an injured animal or human with open wounds in the intestines through which blood hemorrhage was issuing. The genetic analysis so far has revealed that the blood is in no way compatible with human blood or any animal species known to science. The traces ratio of magnesium, phosphorus, calcium, and potassium are incompatible with those of normal human blood because they're much too high. The albumin globulin, the RG ratio, was also incompatible. The ratios found don't allow the results of the analysis to be compatible with those of any known animal species. So that's pretty interesting. At present, the sample can't be placed with any earthly organism. Therefore, it could well be the product of a highly sophisticated genetic manipulation, an organism alien to our own environment, perhaps. Maybe extraterrestrial. Other preliminary tests on subtypes and genetic analysis are as yet inconclusive, but the results so far imply that the samples originate from unknown organisms. Imagine that.
It's tax season, and at LifeLock, we know you're tired of numbers. But here's a big one you need to hear. Billions. That's the amount of money in refunds the IRS has flagged for possible identity fraud. Now here's another big number. 100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it guaranteed. One last big number. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit lifelock.com/podcast for the threats you can't control. Terms apply.
Halliday presents, in the red corner, the undisputed, undefeated Weed Whacker Guy. Champion of hurling grass and pollen everywhere. And in the blue corner, the challenger, extra strength Halliday. Eye drops that work all day to prevent the release of histamines that cause itchy allergy eyes. And the winner by knockout is Halliday. Halliday, bring it on.
Obviously, the alien potential will be difficult for the U.S. and Puerto Rican authorities to explain, and this has led to a disinformation program, some believe, through which the government agencies disseminate the already discredited official explanations of things like feral dogs, the baboon theory again, apes, and other exotic animals, or even satanic cults, as those capable of these mutilations. This has been strengthened by certain people who like to play jokes in the media, who have sensationalized and made light of the situation. In many instances, ridicule has been used as a weapon against quite serious witnesses. Other disinformation and debunking campaigns appear organized through UFO groups by the U.S. intelligence services. Serious investigators have had their credibility just damaged. At least two groups disseminate information through the media, and these groups, as far as I'm concerned, don't do anything except spread panic as they tell how the Chupacabras or the ABEs belong to an alien race who created the AIDS virus to destroy us all. Another group of people spread fear by explaining the Chupacabras belonging to a voracious reptilian race of creatures, which of course are alien in origin, who have started devouring the populace. Now, once again, there has been no confirmed human killing and sucking of the blood as far as my research can come up with to this date. But it could be coming. Who knows? But right now, nothing is definitely conclusive about humans being attacked and killed by a Chupacabra. So, once again, if you're out there listening, this is ParaReality Radio. I'm your host, Sandman, coming to you live from Nashville, Tennessee. Please join me in my chat room, ParaReality Radio, on Yahoo Chat, in the Religion and Beliefs section of the chat. This would be the user rooms. And if you'd like to call in to the show, I've got my Microsoft Net Meeting up and running. My IP address, for those of you who want to ping me on my IP address, is 192.168.0.2. Now let's continue on and talk some more about the Chupacabras here. Through the end of 1995, Chupacabras had been blamed for more than 1,000 mysterious animal deaths, all resulting from blood loss through one or more puncture wounds. In that time, several more eyewitnesses came forward, consistently describing the creature as being just some kind of weird lizard or monkey-like type kind of thing. They characterized it as having large oval red eyes that sometimes glowed, gray skin, long snake-like tongue, fangs, long spinal quills that could or could not possibly be wings or double as wings. Those people who saw it say the Chupacabra stand between 4 and 5 feet tall, kind of hops like a kangaroo, and has just the ungodly foul stench, kind of like sulfur. At the site of some of the deaths, unidentified 3-toed tracks were found. Zoologists don't know of any known animal that adequately fits this strange portrait that's being painted of La Chupacabras. In March of '96, Chupacabra struck for the first time in the U.S. It somehow crossed the Caribbean, and it killed 40 animals in a rural area northwest of Miami, Florida. On May 2nd, a report came from the Rio Grande Valley in southern Texas. A 6-year-old pet goat was found dead with the unmistakable puncture wound calling card of the Chupacabras. On that same day, the creature appeared further south in Juarez, Mexico, where it preyed on dogs and other small-type animals. More witnesses verified Chupacabra's description: the row of spikes or feather-like projections running down its spine, the way it stands upright on 3-toed feet with its forearms suspended at chest level, kind of like a kangaroo when it stands up and hops around. Sometimes it has large glowing eyes. Sometimes I can't quite describe the eyes. The next day, May the 3rd, in northern Mexico, the village of Calderon is terrorized by what is called a giant bat-like creature that feasted on the blood of several goats, once again bringing to mind La Chupacabras. It was kind of like a scene out of, like a Frankenstein movie. Farmers formed vigilante groups to try and stop the monster, but they didn't have any success. Throughout May, reports came in from all over Mexico where the Chupacabras left dead cows, sheep, rams, and stuff like that in its wake, just slaughtering livestock all over the place. Whatever it is, the Chupacabra's appetite for blood just can't seem to be satisfied. From 1996 through 1998, reports of just ghastly attacks continued to make their way into the press. Sightings were made in the Dominican Republic, Tucson, Arizona, and continued on the island of Puerto Rico. Hardly a month goes by without an assault on some kind of helpless animal by the Chupacabras. And let me run down a little list of what kind of assaults that I could find from the La Chupacabras. In November 1996, a Mexican rancher near San Antonio, Texas, claimed to have captured La Chupacabra with a coyote trap, and he produced photographs to prove it. The story and the photos used to be online, but have since, as far as I can find out, become unavailable. Now, I've seen these, and I wish to God I would have saved them in my hard drive on my computer or something, because this is really an interesting photo. It's hard to tell whether it's real or fake. It's not a very good photo, but you just can't find it anymore. So what are you going to do? The rancher had set a trap to capture whatever it was that was killing his goats, chickens, and his donkey. And what he caught was something that he obviously couldn't recognize. And allegedly, the body of this strange creature, whatever it was taken to a major Texas university for identification, although you can't verify this. Now, there's only, as far as I know, 2 major Texas universities. That's Texas A&M and the University of Texas. If it was San Antonio, University of Texas is right down the road in Austin. So if I were to make a guess of what university it was taken to, I would say it was taken to University of Texas. In November 1997, Chupacabra was back in its original stomping grounds, where it killed 2 goats, bled another one dry, and made off with a small kid from a small farm near Loiza, Puerto Rico. Investigating police believe that the attack took place around 2 a.m., about the time the farmhand heard a flutter of wings and saw frightened horses and cows running like, quote, the devil was in pursuit, end quote. And when I say small kid, I am not talking about a human child, kid goat. Oh, wow. That was loud. Okay, whew. Whenever that was loud, I'm sorry about that, people. That just made my ears bleed. I don't know if you could hear it, but I certainly could. On the night of November 12, 1997, near Perth, Australia, of all places, two friends investigating what sounded like the squealing of a wild pig encountered a creature with large, piercing red eyes, a body covered with stringy, matted hair, and large teeth, and was emitting a distinctive, nasty, sulfur-like smell. They said it was about 3 feet high when it was on its all fours, and when it stood up, it was about 5 feet high. And its mouth was what looked to be part of a kangaroo. And they said within a split second, it leapt straight up, dinner and all, as if it had like springs for legs, and they eventually lost sight of it. It disappeared. 34 hogs were found dead with the trademark Chupacabra puncture marks on November 17, 1997, in Arequipa, Puerto Rico. The pigs were being raised by inmates of the Sabana Hoyos prison, and they had planned to slaughter all the animals for a Christmas dinner. So La Chupacabra ruined their Christmas dinner for them. And near Hesperia in Southern California, there's a creature matching the description of the Chupacabras that attacked another pig. And this was in December of 1997. A witness said that he encountered something trying to get to his pig that was unbelievable. When he came around the corner, it stopped, looked up at him. The dogs were really afraid of it, and then it just disappeared into the bushes. On January 26, 1998, La Chupacabra was blamed for the mutilation of 3 cats at the home of one Melvin Rosado in La Pergua, Puerto Rico. And according to the report, one of the cats had its skin separated by a precise bloodless incision. And the most recent thing that I have found was, and of course now there's more than this, but this is just the most recent thing that I found. In February the 3rd of 2003, at 2 a.m. in Fajardo, Puerto Rico, a chupa, short for Chupacabra, a chupa was witnessed killing rabbits and attacking a pet goat. Now, as far as sightings and attacks go with the Chupacabra, the winter of 1995 was a time like no other. In Puerto Rico, which is arguably the center of modern chupa activity, at least a dozen reports of chupa attacks came in, and this was just in a short amount of time. In Orocovis, farmers found 8 sheep completely drained of blood. Each bore the trademark Chupacabra puncture wounds. In Guancina, I hope I pronounced that right, probably not, 44-year-old Osvaldo Claudio Rosado claimed to have been grabbed from behind by a gorilla. Puerto Rico has no gorillas. After fighting off the creature, Rosado needed treatment for scratches and cuts around his torso. Chickens and cows died nearby soon thereafter of single wounds to the neck. Their blood had simply vanished, gone. None to be found. In Canovanas, livestock death reached into the hundreds. Mayor Jose Chimo Soto raised a posse of volunteers and personally hunted every week for the creature for almost a year, and they were armed with rifles and a caged goat for bait. He failed to catch it, but on a little side note, he was, however, reelected. In Torrecilla, Baja, a woman found a chicken dead of perforations in the neck. She found her cat dead with his genitals gone and her guinea pigs dead with their throats slit. I'm assuming her guinea pigs were kept outside and not inside. The animal soon made the leap to the mainland, with 69 chickens, goats, and ducks found dead on a Florida lawn. Again, they had all their blood drained. Michigan and Oregon suffered subsequent attacks, and then a rash of blood-suckings in Mexico created a minor media sensation by late 1996. According to the Chupacabra homepage, which is a project of some Princeton University students with apparently a lot of time on their hands, is considered to be one of the definitive clearinghouses of Chupacabra lore. Now, the last time I tried to access this, the page was shut down, so I don't know if it's up and running again or not. But the Chupacabra, in a little interesting side note, is considered to be the first internet phenomena of the paranormal, which is very interesting. La Chupacabra, the fame of it has basically been all brought on by the internet. Now, I first heard of La Chupacabra on the Coast to Coast AM show with Art Bell several years ago. Had no idea what the heck it was. So I started researching it on the internet, and there's just tons and tons and tons of stuff. And of course, as more time goes by, there's more tons of stuff about La Chupacabra on the internet. But it is the first paranormal cryptozoologic, let me say that again. It is the first paranormal and cryptozoologic internet phenomenon. There, I got that all out, didn't I?
Hey, it's Sterling K. Brown from the Hulu original series Paradise. The next chapter begins as Xavier's search for his wife takes him above ground, and what he finds will change everything. It was never just about the bunker. Tune in and discover the truth lies outside. Paradise, the official podcast, is now streaming, and stream Paradise on Hulu and Hulu on Disney+.
Now, a man by the name of Graham Shepard, who is an experienced airplane pilot, spent several days last January on the island of Puerto Rico to investigate the Chupacabras and UFO sightings. His research has concluded that the sightings are occurring both during the day and the night, which I've already mentioned. Media interest is now more serious than at any other time, it seems, and one newspaper based in Miami has held talks with the local police in Puerto Rico. Shepard further learned that armed police patrols are now looking for La Chupacabras. He's obtained other interesting data about the creature. The creature appears to be some form of reptile or insect hybrid, according to the officials, but they're not ruling out the possibility that it may well be some type of dinosaur, possibly of a species that's been unknown to man. Now, we know it's not unusual for us to rediscover extinct dinosaur species, but they're saying that this is a species that has been previously unknown to man. Plaster casts of its footprints have been made, and it reveals 3 claws, approximately the same size as a large dog. There have been more attacks on dogs, including a Great Dane and rabbits. These occurred about 20 miles or so north of Cabo Rojo in Mayaguez. Shepard also notes that the reports of UFOs and the creature are appearing daily in the local press. The authorities, what he says, are in a jam. U.S. researcher and television producer Linda Moulton Howe has been on the island investigating many of the reports, and meanwhile, Graham Shepard hopes to uncover more information from locals and officials on the island. So, what we have is a creature that's approximately 3 to 5 feet tall, that's grayish, greenish in appearance, large head, oval-shaped round, red eyes, spiny quills down its back, which may double as wings. It can leap 20 feet in the air, has 3 toes with claws and 3 fingers with claws, and has sharp teeth, fang-like teeth, vampire fang-like teeth, coming from the bottom and the top jaw, and apparently sucks its victims dry of blood. And when I say victims, I am not talking about human victims here. I'm talking about animal victims. all of the reports seem to be pretty consistent with that type of sighting. There have been minor variations of the creature, but they all remain on that pretty much that line of description right there. We have theories that it is a dinosaur. We have theories that it is an alien, an ABE, an anomalous biological entity. We also have theories that it is a genetically created experiment by the government that has gone awry, possibly escaped. They've lost control of it. Maybe it's breeding. There's got to be more than one if you take it and look and see where all the sightings are coming from. Starts in Puerto Rico, moves to Florida, moves to Texas. It's been seen in Australia and Mexico. This thing is global. So, what in the world do you think it is? Apparently, no one's going to call in, and no one's going to come into my chat room. But if you decide that you don't want to be shy anymore, if you have Yahoo Chat, log on to Yahoo and go into my chat room. It's in the user room, in the chat section, with the religious belief category, which is the only one that I could find that seemed to suit it. It's actually in the religion and beliefs room. Well, not room, the religion and beliefs section in the ParaReality Radio chat. That's the name of it. In the religion and beliefs user section in Yahoo, ParaReality Radio chat. Come on in, chat with me, let me know what you think. If you happen to have Microsoft Net Meeting and you got it up and running, ping my IP address, and that address is 192.168.0.2. I know you're out there listening. Come on, don't be shy. Tell me what you think La Chupacabra is. Tell me what your opinions are. Let me know if you think it's just full of crap or if I'm crazy or not. Got about 10 minutes left in the show. I'm not going to do News of the Strange this evening. Didn't have time to get any News of the Strange. I looked at some stuff, but I didn't find anything that piqued my interest, sparked my curiosity there. So I decided not to do a News of the Strange tonight. What I am going to do is end the show by telling you guys a little bit about me in case you haven't tuned in to any of my two previous pre-recorded shows. And I hate doing this, but everyone's got to know things about everybody else in order to get to know them. That sounded stupid. Okay? I have no idea what I was trying to say. Everybody's got to get to know somebody, and the only way you're going to get to know someone is by having them tell about themselves. So this is where I brag on myself a little bit and tell you guys a little bit about who I am and what my qualifications are for having this type of show, this paranormal cryptozoology kind of show. My broadcast name is Sandman. I hold 2 degrees. I have a bachelor's in medical administration, and I have a master's in health information administration and education. And I know it sounds like a lot, but it really doesn't do anything for me. It just means I have another degree. So I'm in the healthcare field, in case you couldn't understand that, in case you didn't get it. I'm in the healthcare business. And I had an experience when I was a child that just really weirded me out, and I'll get into that on another show. But let's just say something happened that I couldn't explain, and ever since then I have always been interested in ghosts and the paranormal and hauntings and stuff like that. And I found, several years ago, I found the International Ghost Hunter Society, IGHS, on the internet, and found that they had, you could take certification programs through them to become both a certified ghost hunter and a certified paranormal investigator. So here I am. I took the courses, and I am a certified ghost hunter and a certified paranormal investigator. And I hope to be reporting here pretty soon, hopefully in the next, by the next month, by the end of the month, I hope, to have a report of you about an investigation that I'm going to do down in Mississippi with someone who, I know this sounds kind of corny, but someone who has ghosts in their attic. And I'm going to go down there, hopefully, the end of this month or sometime before the end of February, and do an investigation. I'm still trying to get everything on the, still trying to get all my cards in order, all my ducks in a row, so to speak. So I'm going to hopefully have a pretty good investigation tour, and I'll do a show and have an hour of telling you about how my investigation has gone with my show. And that's going to be pretty fun, I believe, and I'll let you guys know what happens and keep you informed as things go along. But that's a little about me. Like I said, my name's Sandman. The show is ParaReality Radio, coming to you live from Nashville, Tennessee. And we're about running out of time here, and I want to close the show by talking to you a little bit about this guy who also has a live radio show. His name is Des, and he has a show called The Des Show. And you can go to it at www.thedesshow.com, and you spell Des, D, as in Delta, E, Echo, S, Sierra, D-E-S, thedesshow.com. Listen, if you listen to my last pre-recorded broadcast, you know I bashed this guy pretty hard. And I just want to say, Des, you know what? After thinking about it a little bit and listening to your show some more, I have come to really make up my mind that you're still a bloomin' freaking idiot. You have got to be one of the dumbest people on the face of the planet. I cannot believe that you are trying to start an internet broadcasting company so people can have their own live talk shows or radio shows on the internet. You do not need to be doing this. You need to be a silent partner. Shut your stinking hole. Get off of the air and let somebody else who has a brain do this thing. You are a freaking idiot. You know, I listen to your show. I can never listen to a whole show. But when I'm bored and I need a pick-me-up, I need a laugh, I'll tune into your show and listen for about 5 or 10 minutes, which is all I can stomach before I feel like I'm going to puke. And, you know, I realize all of a sudden, hey, my life ain't so stinking freaking bad after all, is it? Not when there's idiots like you who are actually alive. I can't believe that you're living. You're that freaking much of an idiot. So please do me a favor. Kill yourself. Do us all a favor. Blow your freaking head off. I cannot stand you. Please go the hell away. That's all I'm going to say tonight about that idiot Des. Now, I've got about 4 more minutes left on the show. Going to hope that someone is going to call in on Microsoft Net Meeting or come into my chat room. No one's coming into my chat room. Where are you guys at? I'm in here all by myself. No one's coming in. No one's calling me. Come on, people. Don't be shy. I know this is my first show. I want you guys to help me out here. Come on. Don't let me just hang on without someone calling in, although I know you're going to stand me up and not call me in. But you know what? That's all right. In case you want to email me, I have an email address, and it's not the same as what was on my pre-recorded show. So if you have written this email address down, then erase it, scratch it out, and I'm going to give you this new one, which, by the way, no one has emailed me either, and I know that people are listening to the show. Okay, come on and give me an email and let me know what you think about the show. If you're not going to call in and you're not going to go into the chat room, at least email me and give me something to work with here, people. Okay, please. My new email address is PRRadio, all one word, PRRadio at 50g.com. And 50 is the number 50G. PRRadio@50G.com. That's 50, the letter G. PRRadio@50G.com. Tune in to the show, listen to it, and send me an email. Let me know what you think. For God's sake, please help me out here. Don't let me be wasting my time and my money without anyone at least giving me a freaking email. If you don't want to call in and you don't want to join the chat room, at least please send me an email and let me know what in the world you think about my show. Please. I would really appreciate it, people. Now, the next show is going to be in 2 weeks. Don't have a topic yet. Topics to be determined. If you'll keep looking back on the broadcast scheduler, you will see when exactly my show is going to be, what time, and what the topic is going to be. I'm going to try and have my show 2 weeks from now, 2 weeks from this Friday, same time, same channel, topic to be determined. So please, if you don't want to talk to me on this show, please tune in 2 weeks and give me a buzz. Call me on Microsoft Net Meeting. I'll give you my IP address again. I'll have the chat room up and running, and there's always my email. So, with that being said, I'm going to leave you with my outro here, which is by my new favorite group, Audio Slave. It's a song called Bring 'Em Back Alive. I think I'm going to keep this as my outro, at least for a little while. And the reason I chose my outro is because there was a lyric in the song that I mistakenly thought said, I am a prophet. And it did not say I'm a prophet. It said I am a virus. Now, how in the hell I got prophet out of virus, I don't know. But I swear to God, that's what I thought it said. I thought it said I am the prophet. And I thought, gosh, that's a pretty good tagline. That's something good to end my show with, a song, that has the word I'm a prophet, because I feel like I'm, doing something here. But it says I'm a virus. So, maybe that's, maybe I am a virus. I don't know. And if I am a virus, I hope I infect you into listening to the show and calling in and participating here. I want this to be as interactive of a show as I possibly can. So, anyway, I am going to leave you with my outro, Bring 'Em Back Alive. And this is Sandman for ParaReality Radio. We'll see you in 2 weeks.